There's not a day that goes by that I don't have human connection. Now, not because I have a typical job, I work for myself, not because I have a partner or kids, because I don't, but because when I'm out and about, I interact with people, I meet people. And it's funny because it seems to me that of all of my interactions on a daily basis, the ones that I'm closest to are homeless people. There's a PC word for that, but I'm going to say homeless people because we know what that means. Let's not beat around the bush. But yeah, so I find connection in that way. I can be at a grocery store, walking down the aisles, push my cart, going to the checkout line, and the whole time, maybe it's just me and maybe I'm just weird, but I really try to make an effort to make eye contact and to smile, um, to have a conversation if it makes sense. But most of the time in stores like that, everybody's in their own little world, or they're on their phone, or they're looking down, or what have you. But I'll go to the gas station. Um, and that's typically where I run into these strangers who actually do make eye connection, actually do make contact and speak. And a very small percentage asks for anything. Um, I drive a really old car, and it gets a lot of attention. And I'll pull up, you know, to a convenience store in the city that I live in. It's not uncommon to see somebody sitting against the wall, somebody standing there, somebody asking for change, help, food, what have you. And I think it's really interesting that I find comfort in that. Maybe that sounds sick. I mean, because who wants to be homeless? Who wants to be sitting outside a building, standing outside a building? Um, Asking for change, asking for food, what have you. And I have met so many people this way, people I don't know, strangers, I want to quote unquote. And they've given more attention and shown more awareness than, people at the grocery store, people shopping, people going about day to day. It seems to be a lot more simpler for them. And I say them like they're different, but they're not. I mean, I'm no different than them. But there's something that I find when I interact with these people that seems to have a lot more awareness and soul and presence than those who just go on day by day. Does that make sense? So I think there's a lot to learn from that. And I think a lot of it is humility. And I don't think that we as consumers and as those more fortunate have much humility. I know we're all struggling. I know we're all trying to make it. I know we're just going through the motions day by day, thinking about ourselves. But it's these people that I run into sometimes multiple times. Most of the times they're new people I've never met. But they really teach me a lot about myself. And it really makes me question, how can we not have that kind of connection? You know, us privileged ones. You know, why don't we have that kind of connection? It's almost like they're in this kind of time warp of what it used to be like, you know, when we interacted with others and talked to each other, had conversations, had connection. I'm not discrediting their situation, but I almost feel like they have more figured out than we do. And they have gained a hell of a lot more than we've lost. And I think it comes down to choices and situations and some kind of a simpler time. It's strange that I can connect more with strangers, with homeless people, than I can with, you know, those around me, those passing by, those shopping and pushing those carts down those aisles. I think we have a lot to learn from that. I know it's teaching me a lot. So, I would say pay attention. Pay attention around you, to the people around you. Look them in the eye. Say hello. Smile if you can. Find connection. Find your reflection in others. Learn something from those experiences. Take the time, be vulnerable, and see what comes from that. See how that inspires you. Just a thought. Later.